What's up, Dance Fam? Welcome back to another episode of The Session. Today we're going to be reviewing World of Dance, what is it? Season 3, episode 11.
Ooh, 11 already.
Like actual physical episodes 11.
Wow.
But actual real episode, like new episode 10.
10.
But anyway, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Wait, they didn't do 14 weeks of...
Oh, hell no.
No. Of qualifiers? No.
I would have given up after second week.
And as you can tell, we have special guests by the many voices. Well, at least one of them was talking. Anyway, we have special guests returning once again. Once again, we have Jacobo and Justin Cortez.
Hey.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Justin, you were on this last season.
That's
pretty
right.
much did the whole season.
Yes, I did.
And Jess, you are an avid listener.
I am.
And you've been on the show. Have you reviewed World of Dance, or did you just talk?
Wait,
talk
say it
to talk.
again? What?
Last time you were on,
Yeah.
did you talk about World of Dance?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
It was the Fabulous Sisters.
Oh.
I remember.
Don't
They were
spoil
my
the end
favorite. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh.
That's the ticket.
As always, I'm your host, Russ Santos, aka Lock and Robin. And again, thank you.
Wow.
And like I said, I have Jessica Jacobo. How are you doing?
Great. It's awesome to be home. We're counting down because we're
Back from
living
LA.
in Los Angeles.
Yes, we are.
Hey.
That's great.
L.A.
L.A.
And Fel Justin Cortez, welcome back, dude.
Thank you very much.
How's it going?
It's great.
Yeah?
I'm glad to be back. It feels like home. It is home.
Well, I don't know that anymore. Your home
I have
is
a room here.
elsewhere. It's true. It's true. You do have a room here. And what's your name? Are you new here?
Yeah, I am. I've never been here before. Wondering how I got here.
Eser Valencia, welcome back as always. How are you doing?
Right.
Man, there's 2 more people in there. There should be.
Oh, you're not
We
welcome.
can go.
apparently.
Hey, so,
Oh, yeah. Psych, I love these guys.
Yeah.
I miss them.
Cool.
it's good to see you.
So we're here to talk about World of Dance. Like I said, season 3, episode 11, the divisional finals. And before we start going or talking, I just want to give a quick shout out to JP Diaz's family because apparently they watch us. JP Diaz being one of the group mechanics. They were here.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
They were here over the weekend, got to hang out a little bit. And apparently JP's family was like, hey, do you know these guys? They're in DC. He's like, oh yeah, that's Russ and Eser. And
What?
Yeah.
it's weird.
He
I was
literally
like, people
cool.
listen to us?
That's cool.
That's not good.
They get to hear what we have to say.
That's no good.
Hey,
That's
goal,
really awesome.
goal accomplished. We got 1 listener.
But that's crazy. It's also
2.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Me.
Oh, 2, sorry.
Yeah, let's go. Because they apparently they watch the show and they like hearing us review because we're unbiased. At least we try to be.
Yeah.
That's
So
much.
again, shout out, much appreciated for listening. Whether
Thank you,
you're
thank you,
whether
thank
you're
you.
on YouTube or Spotify or whatever podcast that you do. All right, so let's jump into it. The first act, Derion and Madison.
Yep.
Eser, why don't you take this one?
Okay, then. Well, their costuming was something that was very eye-capturing for me. Definitely reminded me of I really thought they were going for a motive of Charlie Chaplin ish.
Kind of how they were walking. out
Yeah,
and
well, the
stuff.
way we were walking and then very synchronized across the stage, come out on stage, but no, nice surprise. It was just more colors coming out of their costuming. So it was a very enjoyable thing to watch. Yeah, it was just nicely done how they were executing things, and nothing was hindering their dancing. But I guess, what did I write here? Oh yeah, sorry about that.
You new here?
Yeah, I'm still trying to. Yeah, what? Yeah, but anyways, I guess the major thing that can't be avoided was how mistakes can just happen at any time, at any point of the competition.
Yeah,
You just never know.
it's too bad.
Yeah, and yeah,
So sad.
I'll just leave it at that.
Justin.
Yeah, they took really big risks, in my opinion. I mean, I guess since I haven't been watching this season, I don't know I have no frame of reference on how well they've done in the past. I liked their technique was pretty good. I liked the performance and how they packaged everything, just like Eser said. But it's just like it didn't pay off. Like I didn't get to see what they teased about, in the with their last trick where she does like a front flip off his back and everything. And
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be?
yeah.
I don't watch the first parts anymore.
Oh man, it was
the story
they were
parts.
talking about like the balancing and everything. It looked like they had it during practices
They
and
did,
everything, and then
yeah.
when they got to the performance, it just crashed and
Yeah.
burned.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell by that the judges knew that it was
Oh yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
mess up.
It
so-
wasn't supposed to be
Yeah.
like that.
Well, and we all knew as an audience because they put it in the teaser.
Yeah,
So,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they do that on purpose though, just to show,
Mhm.
like,
That sucks.
kind of justify either scoring them lower or why they might not have gotten through if there are
Yeah.
people that are like super big fans of them.
Mhm.
I think it's rigged. And
Well,
they told it. No, okay.
throw it.
Why not? Jess, what did you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I love that Neo said that Neo said that there was a beginning, a middle, and an end,
Yep.
and just their end was not strong, and that's there's already bad that or a little unfortunate that we saw what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
It looked like it was successfully landed in practice, and it just it wasn't executed, and it was such a strong performance. I was really rooting for them, but the very end, I mean, that's where you put your exclamation point, and it just wasn't
more of a
strong.
semicolon,
It
right?
was- yeah, or like a comma.
Yeah, both of them implying that they had more to say.
Yeah, and you could tell she was so disappointed. I mean,
Both of
I
them
would
were.
be too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
apologized right away, and I'm like, girl, I feel for you.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Well, so I always have to preface this, well, I guess with you guys, that I don't watch the first part, so I don't know what's supposed to happen because
Okay.
I don't like knowing or anticipating anymore.
I think it's better that way because
Yeah,
they
it's
give
too-
away way too much.
Exactly, and to remain as unbiased as possible,
That's good.
like
Yeah.
especially story wise, because they're like, oh, blah blah
This
blah
is
background.
about blah, blah,
I get it.
blah.
We all
Mhm.
go through a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. This is art.
Absolutely.
Art is powered by our emotions, obviously.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but I skipped that whole thing now.
Mhm.
Then I just watched the thing. So I didn't know what was supposed to happen. I thought it was going to be cool because it looked like there were like levels of
Mhm.
rising up and
Mhm.
something was going to happen.
Yep.
Nothing happened. So I was like, oof,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
too bad.
That's definitely what they were going for.
Let's see. Things no one said. I like the stage production here.
Mhm.
Again, because like Esther mentioned with the colors constantly adding to it.
Mhm.
The stage production actually did it at the same time. So
Yeah.
like, it was like an image and
Mm-hmm.
then they kept adding different colors to it. Typically when stuff like that happens with the stage, it can be overwhelming in that it takes away from the actual dance itself. But this one didn't. I thought it was a good balance between the two, and it kind of like really amplified it a little more for me. Musicality was great. Looked like they were thoroughly enjoying it until the very end, obviously.
for sure.
And then there was one part in the middle where they kind of balance, or they kind of go back and forth between carrying each other.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
catch
that
that.
was awesome.
like the
That was fun.
It was like just this teetering
You know,
effect.
I thought about you when they did that.
me too. I thought it was a little sloppy, actually. Like
Yeah.
there was a bit of struggle in there and less ease. So that was the first like negative thing I saw with them
I see.
until the very end. That was pretty much it. And like you mentioned, I think they had a beginning, middle, and end. They have like an overarching like structure to their set.
Yeah.
And in their past sets, they've been good about it. So really unfortunate. They were one of my favorites. Weren't they? Didn't you like them too, Esther?
I did.
Yeah.
You know, they put a lot of effort in their craft. You know, I appreciated everything they've done so far and what they were putting on stage and
Yeah.
just taking the necessary risk, making those decisions.
Yeah, it's too bad they messed up here. This is like
Yeah.
the first time they messed up too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I gave them an 88. Jess, what'd you give them?
Gave them an 86.
Okay. Justin?
I gave them an 80.
Dang. Not even qualifying.
Well, I think what happened was that because it was the first performance I've seen since
Sure.
the last season.
Yeah.
I was just that much harder on them, and like no frame of reference. So I have
Right.
I have nothing to go.
Yeah,
off
that's
of.
good.
No,
good.
that's I think that's still
Yeah.
fine. You know, like you're just getting into it and you're seeing it with fresh eyes.
I definitely was much easier on everyone else afterwards.
Well, I started questioning my scoring system. I was like, whoa, an 80?
Yeah,
so
right.
I was like,
Exactly.
Right.
1 point off.
Yeah.
It's like, I could take off here too.
Yeah.
It's the qualifying is now 85 for this.
That's
so-
what it is. Yeah, that's the change. That was a
Okay.
change. This beginning of the season.
Wow.
Yeah. So Eser, what'd you give him?
I gave them 100. I'm just kidding. I gave them an 87.
Okay, so we're all pretty even except for Justin over there with the low ball.
Super low ball there.
But I think everything else will be fine.
But they still managed a 92, which I was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
surprised about.
I was too.
Really surprising there. Whatever.
Yeah, Derek gave him a pretty
Whatever.
high score.
93.
It's still a high score out of the other two.
Yeah, you're right. You're
This-
right.
This must be that rigged part of it.
Make it exciting, right? Anyway.
Anyhow.
Moving on to the next one. Next act. Poppin John. Papa John's, baby.
Papa John's.
So hungry now.
Is that what we're eating?
No. Taco Bell. Anyway. Poppin John. Justin, why don't you start this one?
All right. So Poppin John, obviously, a popper. That much I got.
What gave it away?
I don't know. From the beginning of his performance, I thought the throne looking thing that he was on was super cool. His little hat, sunglass trick was a nice little trick. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
you got me. Okay. And then his use of the stage and kind of controlling it, I thought that was pretty well done. And for the most part, I really enjoyed his performance. He definitely has really good musicality. I wonder whether or not he's the type of soloist that freestyles his dances rather than choreographing them. I kind of feel like he might be leaning more towards actually choreographing his stuff, just from how they packaged his his preview part and everything. And I mean, you don't watch that anyway,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I actually really enjoyed it. I like that he kind of is bringing popping more to the forefront. It's as a street dance and everything, and I'd like to see more of those types of styles in this competition because they're grossly underrepresented in this particular
mainstream
competition.
media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it'll help people see more of the difference between popping and then locking. So the more people that come out and say what their style is, people will easily be able to tell what the differences are.
Identify with
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but no, I liked his performance. I thought he was really good, and I thought his hits were I could see them.
Sure.
So, which is good because you want to see someone on stage say that they're popping whatever, and then they don't hit.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought it was great.
Cool. Jess, what'd you think?
I didn't really have any notes for him other than nice hat, sunglasses trick.
Right.
I was watching him the whole time because, as a soloist, I think you just got to pay attention to all the little tricks they add. And he was really, he was really eye-catching, but I didn't have anything good or bad to say about him.
That
I think
happens.
he was just neutral. I think he captivated the audience, but in terms of being $1 million performance, I'm not sure I would say that he is, and that really sucks to say.
Yeah, okay.
No, that's fair.
Forgot we got to start thinking like that.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that's all I have about him.
Right on. Eser, back to you.
Very entertaining. First notes that I had when I started watching him was this is the beginning of the Matrix. He's the architect.
Oh.
And this is his definite interpretation, and the stage production about it was really genius. But my biggest thing was I was looking forward to him pushing the idea of a prop use. In his previous round, getting to this point, it was an excellent use of the heart. And now he's just, okay, cool. It was a good setup, but I kind of wanted to see him utilize the chair more, have a little more movement with that interaction. Sure. But it was a great amount of his own dancing, which is very notable and honest. I appreciated everything he did, but I'll agree with Jess's point. But was it a $1 million performance?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I didn't think so either. I agree with you, everyone pretty much so far. And Derek even mentioned it, saying that, he doesn't think it was one of his best.
Yeah.
Esther and I agree. We think his best was the one coming into this for the cut, I guess. Yeah. He had a balloon without a string, but made it seem like there was a string and was moving it around.
He created some great effects with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Little magic show.
Yeah, pretty much. It really was.
Yeah.
I love a good magic show.
Building on what Justin said, saying that he was controlling the stage. I think that was the first time anyone's ever really done that, kind of like manipulating things that were happening on in the stage production itself. So that was cool. I thought that was a nice effect. Again, with the magic. And that's pretty much it for me. You guys said everything else, but there was I did say one thing that I felt like something was missing for me within his set. And I think it's because, I guess it's like a structure kind of thing. I agree with you, Eser. I wish that he did play more to the chair, because you just sat in the chair in the beginning, got up, and that was the end of the chair.
Yep,
right?
that was it.
It was a really cool
that makes
looking
sense.
chair.
Yeah, it was a
great
cool chair.
Is it Wayfair? No.
It's a Wayfair.
We love Wayfair.
It's my living room. Anyway.
I'm gonna go search.
I need to see. Okay, I'm good.
Great.
Wow.
All right, go.
Wayfair.
Good.
Aside from the chair, I just felt like something was missing for me, and I think it was like some kind of structure, because I agree with you, Justin. He kind of does look like he was freestyling for a lot of it, but I don't know, something was missing. I can't put my finger on it quite, or can't quite put my finger on it.
I guess if you're comparing it to his previous performance, then it definitely was lacking then, because it sounds like his previous performance was like,
it was really cool.
Really
I liked it.
mean, to make it through the cut, that's always hard.
Yeah.
Straight from the cut.
The cut.
I gave him an 89.
Wow.
Jess?
Samesies,
Nice.
89.
Don't mess it up.
I gave him a 92.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
too gave him a 92.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It makes sense.
And true. And he actually ended up getting a 95, so it was a really high score.
Yeah.
I was like, oh dang, he's gonna take this, I think.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
But wait.
But wait.
So moving on to Briar Nolet. Yeah, she, spoiler alert, she took it. Anyway, Jess, go ahead and start this one.
I loved her. She was definitely my favorite from that round. The whole Britney Spears and the use of that box, and she was just so. I don't know how she was before, but I thought it was a strong performance. The only her tricks were great, but then her filler moves, her dance moves in the middle were just not quite doing it for me.
Right.
I thought that she was super confident and strong, but then when she would. After her tricks would be like an 8 count of just dancing, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. But her costume was great. It was very Britney Spears inspired, and she was just my favorite of that round.
Right on. Let's bring it back over to Eser.
Sure. Well, she said a lot of things I already wrote down here.
Such is life.
Yeah, such is life.
Sorry.
But anyways, I think my biggest qualm about it is just still the imbalance of trick to dance ratio in this set. Yeah,
I feel
That's
you.
fair.
that's it.
Nice.
Because she took everything.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, it's okay.
sorry. I'll say less. I'll say less.
Sorry. No,
All right,
Justin.
let me try this. So what I think when I compare her to someone like Poppin John, I think that they both show mastery of their craft, their individual styles and everything like that. She was super strong in her style, and so was John. But what made her stand out more to me was the use of her prop. So she was in it, she was on it, she jumped off of it, any kind of preposition you want for that.
Yeah,
she was doing to that thing. She climbed on it.
She was about it.
She was all about it. And from the beginning of her performance, as soon as she got on stage, I mean, from her costume, you could tell.
Yeah, for real.
Brittany, Brittany.
She just gunned for it, and I was just it paid off.
Yes, and then
did.
she's in the box and she's putting herself in these positions within the box where you're just wow, she's really dancing in this
she
box.
is. Yeah.
And
she utilized it.
In the context of dancing in a box, that's usually bad. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
get you.
But she made it something that was, much better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me think Briar's going to take this one. Even though her dancing, in my opinion, was a little, like you said, it was lacking because it was all tricks and some fillers. Whereas this is World of Dance. They should be dancing a little.
Right.
Well, and take that with a grain of salt. Tricking can be considered dancing too.
Yeah.
But But yeah, no. As soon as she jumped off of that box, I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
what a risk.
Hurt my
Lady
knees.
Gaga.
Oh my gosh.
The
Yeah.
effortlessness of just that tuck and roll down, just crazy.
Yeah. Well, not just. I mean, both times she jumped
Yeah.
off. So the first time I was like,
On the
"Holy
front,
crap!"
and
The
then
second time I was also,
yeah,
"Holy crap!"
yeah,
Yeah.
crap from the front and crap from the back.
So, okay, so for me, right from the start, I did notice the outfit and the box, and I was like, oh, it's giving me Britney Spears vibes. And then I saw the song. It was like My Prerogative. I was like, oh, wrong song, though. 'Cause, and this is just me nitpicking the hell out of it. Like,
Which one would you pick?
it was Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
Yeah,
outfit.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And then the box, I was like, that's like an NSYNC thing. Like, bye.
Bye. So she
Like,
just
don't get me started on my 90s pop
pop
artists.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me nitpicking. And then she started, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I guess it's her
Yeah.
prerogative.
Okay. Right.
She just
I was
wrecked
like,
the
I'm
out
down
of
with it. I'm down with it. And then she did the whole front tuck off the box
Yep.
into a front tumble, I guess. And I was like, dang, pretty good. So she's always had a thing about her strength,
Mm-hmm.
and she's super strong, obviously, especially in her core and her legs, right? And you can definitely tell when she was doing things within that box, like keeping her in certain positions, giving you pictures, different images. Like you can take a picture at any time, you'll see something, and it was just pretty awesome, I thought.
Yeah.
Her gymnastics are always on point, but you guys said everything. You know, there was just a little bit too much of it and less dance for me. And that's about it, because you guys said everything. Oh, actually, no, there was one thing. Her musicality. I felt like she needed to listen a little bit more to the music, and this might go along with the whole point of her not dancing as much. But even with like her tricks and her gymnastics, I just thought, you know, it wasn't really going along with the music, in my opinion, as much as I would like it to. So I had her edging over Poppin John just by a little bit. And,
Oh wow.
yeah, so just, you know, I gave her 91. I mean, it's still high, but you know, I gave everyone else kind of high 80s. Jess, what'd you give her?
I gave her a 94.
Justin?
I gave her 97. I did like her.
Wow.
I did.
Yeah.
I
I
did like
thought
her.
she was 3 less than perfect.
Yeah. It's and in
Wow.
retrospect now, I wish I would. I probably, if I thought about it more and like maybe watched her performance again,
Sure.
I'd probably
Yeah,
give her
the
closer to
first
like a
one.
95, something like that.
Okay. Eser.
I too gave a 91.
Right on. We've been doing this.
We've been doing it.
The experts over here.
Anyway.
Hey, $1 million on the line.
So,
You're right.
fair.
so she wins the upper division.
Yep.
So props to her. We're seeing a little bit more of her. Well, I guess just one more episode of her.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Just enough.
Moving on to the Crazy Eights. And I will start this one, actually. So right from the start, I did catch the very beginning of their pre-roll kind of thing. I was like, oh, they're still writing on this whole selectively mute girl.
Yep.
So,
they
it's
did-
been the entire. Season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the entire season.
Interesting. And she hasn't spoken to that
No.
same girl the whole time?
I guess
Or- I guess.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It's like she is selectively mute, and you know, not to knock on it, because obviously it's an issue.
Yeah,
or
it's a real
It's
thing.
a real thing.
Yeah.
But you know, World of Dance just really capitalizing on it, I guess,
Yeah.
or
Hyper-focused.
even
Yeah.
who's like choreographing stuff for them.
Mm.
You know, just really focusing on her and her issue and her and stuff that's going on with her. So I skipped ahead because I didn't want to listen to any more. Then I actually watched the stuff. I thought that there was some editing issues here.
Yeah.
I think they skipped a whole chunk just because I know the song, and I think they skipped a chunk and they cut a bit out of it. So, you know, I couldn't really see what was going on there. But with the very small, or with the shortened set that I did see, I thought they had good transitions and formations. They were clean. They've always been clean. They're little girls, and they're doing things that, you know, I wouldn't be able to do for the rest of my life. But then again, like I thought like about how clean they were, and then that chunk that they edited out, I was wondering if they messed up within that, and they kind of like, you know, made them look a little bit better.
Eef.
Okay.
But anyway, other than that, I wrote it was good. ... Like it wasn't like fantastic for me. It was just good, on par for what they've been doing. For those who have been watching, but I wouldn't. I don't know. It was just on par with the rest of the things that they've been doing. Eser.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed watching Crazy Eights throughout this season, but I guess it was the cuts already. Like it hasn't really changed. Like the difficulty of their set. You know, it's like it's
True.
just they've been very consistent, but you know nothing's been over the top this far. So it's always great seeing them being clean, precise, and together, but at the same time, like it wasn't enough risk for me, like to really consider them to be in that running for the prize. Like this is the ultimate like round. Like you have to get to a point where like, oh, we're pushing the envelope, or are we just going to maintain playing safety as well? So it was great, like for what they're doing, but it didn't take it to the next level for me. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy to see Nia just grow, especially like sure, the focus was a lot on her this season, but at the same time, it was nice to see the growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I guess jumping off of that, I thought that Nia being someone that is selectively mute, like she dances like she's not.
Oh yeah,
like she says she says so much. I think that's the beautiful thing about dancing is what it can do for you and how it can help you like communicate how you're feeling and everything. And I think that's for someone that hasn't seen them at all this season. I thought the story was beautiful. But I do agree with what you said that it did seem like a safe performance. Yeah, it is something that they're all going through at this moment. With the girl, like I can't remember what her name is, Kendall or something like that. Yeah, that she was the only girl that Nia had not spoken to up until this point. You know, and for her to also say something at the end of the performance was a nice little like cherry on the top. But yeah, no, there were I saw a couple of things in terms of just like some technique issues. They are young, so you know that sometimes that can be expected. But they definitely played the story. They played the story throughout the entire performance, which was beautiful. So
True.
Yeah.
Jess.
Yeah. This time, Eser took everything I had to say. I see
Good.
you.
Good.
Payback.
In Athens.
Yeah, I think it goes back to like, would you give them $1 million? You know, and they have so much more time to grow and experiment in their craft, and I don't think that this is the competition that they'll like win yet.
Right on.
Yeah, that's it.
Right on.
Right on. I gave him a 90.
Oh,
Jess.
93.
90.
Nice.
There you go. Finally made it.
92.
Ooh.
92. They actually got a 93, so we were all around the general area.
Yep. General area.
Okay. All right. Moving on to VPeepz.
VPeepz.
From
the VPeepz.
Here we go.
from our motherland.
Shouldn't be
Oh yeah.
surprised.
Boy.
The VPeepz.
We're having beef.
Eser, go ahead and start this one.
All right. These guys.
These guys.
No, like they're definitely one of my favorites as well. Possibly biased because they're coming from the homeland. But this time around, their performance just felt like a normal, usual competition set that you see in a regular dance showcase.
Yep.
Like Prelude, World of Dance before the TV show, or just like any other kind of competition that's out there. Like they just displayed, the regular thing that you always see. So it didn't really, change. It wasn't too much of a change from their last set. So, and I was just like, all right, they got the high energy thing going. Lots of good intricacies, but it's just like, it wasn't anything different. I'll just leave it at that. It just wasn't different enough.
We'll jump over to me just because I want to contradict you. I thought, I thought it was different from their previous set because the gimmick here, I thought they used better. In the last one, I don't know if there was one, but they were wearing barongs.
Yeah, they were wearing barongs. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were. They were really repping the homeland.
But like in
hard
terms of a
last one.
theme, I thought it was utilized better in this time around because they had, well, I don't know, it just made more sense in terms of like the boxing and whatever. So I thought that, and then they had a little bit more. They had more creative tricks, I thought, like the whole leg breaking thing. I was like, well,
Okay.
it's kind of funny.
Cool.
It's kind of funny.
That was a big highlight, but just the overall thing.
Sure. I thought it was good. Their transitions I thought were better than their previous ones, and they're clean as always. I don't think I've ever seen them when they weren't clean, so that's pretty damn good. There was a bit of whacking there, so let me pass it over to Jess.
No pressure.
to talk about it. What'd you think of that part?
Yeah, I mean that definitely caught my eye, and they were so clean with it, and they seemed like they train in the actual style, and that it's not just a filler move. I know that happens a lot. I think I saw it in another performance where it seems like they were just filling in an 8 counter too. But this one looked like they actually trained. They the blocking with it was really beautiful. I liked them a lot, and they were super clean.
Nice. Justin.
Well, mostly everything was said. Cool leg illusion, very in movement. I mean, like when I mean by very in movement, Eser kind of touched on this, but it's very what you'll see at every single competition right now. It's very popular,
like an urban dance,
urban setting. But what I did like is that they brought a little femininity to the boxing, to boxing itself.
For sure.
Not that femininity is not strong, but that it is something that can be added to anything. Like, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and he came down. He was in his robe and came down that aisle and was just owning it. And then they went into the whacking, and I was like, yes, that was really well done. Yeah. So I guess that transition was something that you were talking about.
Right.
Thank you.
Correct.
Right.
Justin agreed with both Eser and you.
Not so much.
Not so much me.
I have to agree with you.
I gave him a 93. Jess?
94.
Okay.
95.
Oh.
Gave them a 90.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
All right.
The homeland, dude.
All right.
Hey, man.
That's right. I'm just kidding.
They actually got a 96. So high score there. Already beating the Crazy Eights at that point. Moving on to Dancetown Divas. And actually, I think this is the group that,
this was
that had a little bit
the
of
other
filler
group.
whacking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Jess.
I got some notes for them.
Do it.
Okay. So, I really wanted to enjoy them, their costumes, and just, I was obviously watching the story behind, their little intro. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And I think maybe that, I can see why you maybe don't want to watch the intro, because it sets up an expectation, and if they don't meet it, it's disappointing. And that's kind of how I felt. The Beyonce, I was like, oh, this girl is gonna kill it, and they did. I was just expecting more. I really wanted more to come out of their entire performance. And I wish the blocking was a little more intricate. It seemed very safe. Are they a ballroom?
Pretty much
team?
like Latin ballroom.
Latin ballroom team.
Ballroom.
Okay, so I mean, I like the fusion. It like they made it modern and relatable, to today's pop culture. But it was just a little meh for me. And then the whacking, I was like, ooh, it was everything was just okay, and their costumes were fabulous. So I was like, y'all better kill it, but they just missed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah, my first note was salutes are off. They came in strong and everything, and I was like, this is Beyonce, hands down. But their performance was, I just said it all. Like it was, my expectation was high, and it just kind of faltered at that point. And then at the end, when they were doing their little interview with like the judges and everything, there's a lot of crying, but not one tear was falling. So I wasn't sure about the authenticity of how they really felt. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they were dehydrated.
Maybe. It looked like no, it didn't even look like sweat. They didn't look like they were sweating.
Sweat and tears.
And I say that, but it still to me was like it was a solid performance. Like they utilized their ballroom technique into the performance and everything, and the juxtaposition of Beyonce and all that, which is what I liked and why I probably scored them higher than I should have. But
no regrets.
Is there anything to add?
Well, yeah, just to jump off her point about the Latin ballroom fusion thing going on there, because like that's what we've known them for this entire season, like just to be Latin ballroom, which they were showcasing, and now they did take that risk to just do it as a fusion, which was like, So I was like, had the eyebrow up while I was watching. I was like, something new. And I was like, but I was hoping that they would get back into just doing strictly Latin ballroom for the rest of their set, but it was more so the urban choreography took over. But I was very engaged more with their formations and transitions this time, because it was kind of lacking in the last few sets as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
And the only thing I want to add is that I thought that their gimmick took away from the dance than I guess what was anticipated.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to like they focused too much on the whole Beyonce aspect of things, and that dance wasn't there to back it up.
Yeah, if you're gonna do Beyonce, you gotta do Beyonce.
And it was a halftime show thing too. So like, anyway, I still gave him a 92. Jess?
91.
94.
Okay.
Give them a 98.
All right, that's fine.
Wow.
Wait, a 98?
I said 88.
Oh, 88.
Somehow they got a 95.7 overall.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't quite make it. VPeepz did win the junior team division there.
Yes, they did.
0.3.
So we'll see more of them in the next episode.
In the next episode.
All right, let's move on to, what is this? The
Junior team? Oh,
No,
junior division.
Just junior, yeah.
Yeah, regular juniors.
Junior. Ellie and Ava. Who wants to start? Who did this one? You did, Justin.
Yes, thank you for letting me start, because I have so many. If not, here's the thing: when we were watching the show, the regular progression of the show, VPeepz were like my top at this point, and then we got to Ellie and Ava, and I was like, no, these two are going to be hard to top for the rest of the competition. Because when I was watching them, in their introduction package, they talked about having anxiety, which I think has been probably a common theme throughout the entire competition. She probably talked about it a lot. But man, when they performed, there's not a lick of anxiety in their performance at all. And again, that's what I think is great about dance, is that it can bring out, you can communicate so much more with it than you can just talking. Their control in their movements, the illusions they do with their legs are like, I've never seen someone control them the way that they do. And I've seen like tons of contemporary and modern type dances, and I've never seen someone do something like that. And they were both completely in sync with each other. You know, like I loved it. To me it was a perfect performance.
Ooh.
And it's hard for me to say that, because like I've seen like pretty perfect performances in the past too, and like this might have been one of my favorites in any season I've ever seen.
Okay.
So yeah, they were both just incredible to me.
Nice. Bring it back to Jess, actually.
To me. I completely agree with Justin, and I always look at people's facials, and I was really I'm really hard when I'm like, oh, I don't believe you, but I could definitely believe them, and they look like they were just communicating and dancing from the heart, and I love that. But I have nothing else to add to what Justin said. Justin's in love with them, so
Platonically.
I don't.
Eser.
Well, these two covered a lot of things already, so
Yeah.
But I will point out that they did give full value to their movement, because a lot of people, when they dance, shorthand movement, and it doesn't read very well. So it was just nice to see that change, and especially like the super genuineness of just how they are, and just did what they did the thing.
Dude, like I think Derek said the same thing, that like every movement was so full, and I think that's what makes a huge difference in a performance.
Yeah.
And from you got that same energy from the both of them equally.
Yep.
Yeah. They're like one person. Kind of.
Yeah. Are they sisters?
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
are.
so. I meant, yeah. They look kind of the same.
Yeah. We were like, are they twins? No.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're just
They're
sisters.
just sisters. One thing that no one mentioned, surprisingly, was their musicality. I thought their musicality really stood out. other than like dancing to like the nuances of the music, just the I'm a big fan of just structure. Structure. Like listening to the music overall, like riding the wave that is the music that you're dancing on, right? So like I thought they did a fantastic job of it this time because I don't know, like you not only heard the build up in the music, but you also saw it with your eyes from their dancing, and like that's the whole idea of it, of dancing. So I thought that was what really stood out for me with them. Everything else you guys already mentioned. So cool.
Cool.
I gave them a 97.
99.
100.
Hundo.
I told you, like,
Ooh.
it was a perfect, and like you said, like musicality. I couldn't. There's too many things to talk about.
Eser?
Gave them a 93.
You lowballed them.
I lowballed them. I lowballed them.
They actually got a 96, so really kind of scored. Derek gave them a 99.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
Derek was there.
nice. Okay, moving on to Julian and Charlize. I'll start this one actually. Right off the bat, I noticed that, well, maybe not right off the bat, but early on, I noticed that, I don't know, something about, again, the editing. There was some editing issues here. Well, and then what kind of confirmed it was after their set, I realized, wow, that was super short.
Yeah.
So again, some kind of cut there, some kind of edit, something was going on there. But surprisingly for me, I thought this was their best performance. Like for me.
Yikes.
I mean, and I've been really nitpicky with them because just to kind of catch you guys up, in their past performances, at least in my opinion, I thought that they kept looking like two individuals dancing with each other. Dancing, at the same time, whatever.
Like next to each other.
Exactly. Yeah. They never looked like one unit, but I thought this time around, like I actually saw them actually dancing together, like they were one cohesive unit just doing the thing. I thought their structure was better. They weren't beat killing as much. And I thought, they weren't as repetitive in terms of the rhythms that they wanted to dance to. So I thought, surprisingly, this was one of their best performances, at least to me. Eser, what'd you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it could have been just a long day or something, but
It's okay to have different opinions.
Like,
no, I'm not apologizing about my opinion. I'm just saying, like, it just didn't stand out enough for me, like they did like it did last round. It was maybe slightly better. I'll agree to that. They had a little more interaction, and it was just better that they're dancing together rather than side by side. But it still wasn't enough for me.
Sure.
So. But yeah, it was definitely super edited. Like I couldn't watch anything else. I was like, did that just happen? And this is like a high stakes round. Like I kind of want to see the rest of what they got. Yeah. So I just didn't have enough to write here about it. It was just these things.
Cool. Bring it back to Jess.
I agree with Esther. I was expecting a lot more. I've actually been watching Charlize since she was little. She used to compete in these, those solo competitions, and she was absolutely fabulous. So I was really excited to see her. I was like, whoa, she's a whole woman.
She's a woman now.
She's a woman.
And I've seen her do dance in classes in LA, like on video. And I'm like, yeah, she's fabulous. So I was like, oh, she's on the competition. And again, I think I set my expectations really high, and I was actually a little disappointed.
Sure.
And I didn't think they were that clean together. But also don't have anything to compare. I didn't think they were that clean, and I was a little bored with the choreography. I didn't think it was that intricate. Period.
Thank you for the punctuation.
You're welcome.
Justin, what'd you think?
Yeah, my notes were not that clean.
Really?
And like I was actually surprised that you felt the way that you did, but I guess because you have.
I didn't say they were clean.
Yeah, no. I mean just that you said that they were better together in this particular round. I'm like, wow, it kind of makes me feel like they kind of coasted then, because if you consider that one of their better rounds, then I'd hate to see what their previous ones were.
And a lot of people online, not to cut you off, I did cut you off. a lot of people online have felt that their previous performances were, always good.
Yeah.
Like really like something like you could only imagine, right?
Yeah.
But I'm always like, well, they still like two individuals kind of just dancing at the same time.
And that's exactly how I felt about this one, though.
Okay,
so
I mean, the remnants are there.
Yeah.
For you, I guess just because I've been seeing them more often. I thought they improved maybe a little bit. I didn't say they were clean. I just thought that I'm big on chemistry, so
Fair.
I just like that they had it this time, and at least a little bit of it. Anything else, Justin?
That's all I can say.
Cool.
I agree with everyone else.
I gave them a 94. Jess?
Where are they? Oh, I gave them an 87.
Justin?
I gave them a 90.
Eser?
I too gave them an 87.
Dang.
Wow.
They actually got a 95.7. So pretty high score there.
Yeah.
Still not good enough to beat Ellie and Ava at that point. So moving on to the last of the, what are these, juniors? Uppers?
Yes, juniors.
Kayla Mak. Anyone want to start this one? I keep just picking people. Anyone feel like they have something to say here?
Sure.
Okay. Justin,
Go ahead.
No, I think the only thing else that I have to say, or the only thing that I can say about her, is that she had amazing lines in her performance.
Yeah,
she's very strong.
She is a line.
She is one big line. She was. I did notice how thin she is, and that's like kind of the I guess that's the ballet type body type that they want for prima ballerinas and everything like that. I mean, she was on point.
Well.
She was on point shoes, but also I thought that her movements were on point. Like I really enjoyed how she kind of packaged her performance. She really shows her strength. She shows her control with her legs and everything like that. And I mean, when there's not really much to control, of course you're gonna have control. So.
How do you think I get along?
It all makes sense now. No, and to be honest with you, I actually put her over Julian and Charlize in terms of my own scoring. So I thought that if not for Ellie and Ava, she probably could have taken the round.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes, Kayla has come a long way, I believe, and she definitely fused a lot of elements that she's taken along on her journey with this competition. So she's definitely displayed a newfound sense of strength, as well as fusing it with her grace on stage. So always been precise and clean with her lines, which is really awesome. But I felt like the fight in her wasn't enough for me to really like this set. Like I think what she displayed in the cuts was something I was expecting here in this round, because she was put in redemption in the cuts round. So she was fighting for her life to stay in this show. So I was like, oh, she still got it. Let's see what else she's got. So it kind of was just like sort of safe now, but I did appreciate her putting those elements of what she's grabbed onto this whole show so far. So good for her.
Jess?
I loved her first pose. I put yes, first pose. I think it's easy for people to just like kind of stand there and look down, and I think y'all talk about that all the time with everyone's first,
Or
first
hop around.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, so I loved that. I don't know if anyone mentioned this, but I love that her movement, the intensity of her movement seemed to follow the intensity of the song. Bishop Briggs is like one of my favorite vocalists, and I think she has such good control of her vocals, and I think that's what Kayla, at least in my opinion, I think that Kayla was trying to match that, and I saw her moves getting like stronger and stronger as Bishop Briggs's, her vocals were getting like more intense. So that's what I loved.
And surprisingly, just to jumping off of that, and kind of building upon that in terms of her overall structure. I kind of keep talking structure, but like with musicality and how she's being intense when it calls for it. She kind of didn't have that, in my opinion, in the previous sets that she's done. She's always kind of been one note. As when it comes to ballet, it can be that way.
Yeah.
And not necessarily a bad note either. Like she's just good, just constantly throughout, and not as opposed to like making you change the way you feel at different moments. But better this time around for sure. And I just want to talk about the ease of how she danced, with which she danced. Like it was just, I thought, again, her being as light in terms of build as she is, things will come easier for her, but it didn't look like any kind of a struggle with her to do anything.
No, not at all.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then also, I thought it was short too, because I think there was some kind of editing going on here.
Yeah.
So compared to like when you see the full sets of like Poppin John or something. So I hate how things get squished into this 2-hour thing, you know, just to avoid doing multiple episodes. But anyway, I gave her a 95.
I gave her a 98.
I gave her a 96.
I gave her a 90.
Okay. And she actually got a 95.3.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, not high enough to beat Ellie and Ava. So, Ellie and Ava made it through as the juniors here. Moving on to the last group, or last division, I guess. Who are they? The upper team.
Upper team.
Starting it off with the Heima.
Heima.
Heima?
You're an all-star. What?
Nice. Go ahead, Eser.
Wow, dude.
All right, cool. Well, they actually have been a personal favorite of mine this entire show.
Okay.
Like it was. I felt like they were just very standoutish, and like they have this fusion of b-boying and I guess their contemporary. I want to say put together, and they just have a very artistic vision about themselves, like whenever they're going out there. So it was just a nice build up from each round. And I don't know, this time around, I don't know what happened, what's happening with all these performers and groups. Like they kind of taken it down a notch. And for Heima, for me it was disappointing. Like I was expecting more. Like they built such a great reputation so far, and I always thought they were going to do something new and exciting and a little more unpredictable, but it just wasn't there. Like especially when they had their crew behind the one soloist doing the head spin and removing his shirt. That's something I've seen already, like someone removing their shirt, but at the same time that whole like soloist doing the windmills all throughout, and then the crew just dancing in the background, that was done last round. Like
And the round before.
So it definitely was something that I thought they could have done very differently. And there were some choreography parts that they did start putting in, which was like, oh, okay, cool. That was a better balance. Cleanliness with the arms though was still very apparent, and I read that so fast. I was like, okay, I just saw like a lot of different things happening there. But yeah, still major props to their artistry and theatrics on stage. Like no one can take that away from them. So yeah.
Jess.
They were okay. Like I really wanted to like them too, just because I'm all about bringing more street styles to mainstream media. They have such strong power moves, but that's all I saw. And then it had a similar issue with their kind of filler choreography. It wasn't that intricate or difficult.
Right.
So it's like, again, like, do you deserve $1 million? I'm not sure. So but they were okay.
Does anyone really deserve $1 million?
I mean, I don't know.
You do.
Thanks, man.
Welcome. I don't have it, but
I know, but I know you would.
yeah, I'd give you.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
I thought it was an interesting choice with the do-rags. That was my first. And then also the masks on top. That was
That's her thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's their thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that at all. It's just like I guess it's like a Jabberwockies thing almost.
Yeah.
I did appreciate like that one part that you were talking about with the soloists and everything. I know that that's like categorically going to happen when you have b-boys performing in like a show where you're judged through the lens of a choreography set. So it's tough for them when they're coming into that, into this type of competition. It's something like Battle of the Year or something like that. It would probably be more appreciated and everything. But his power, like after he took his shirt off, he was doing his windmills. By the way, Neo, they were windmills, not flares.
To be fair, he did go into air flares.
Yeah, he did go into air flares afterwards. But then he was doing like elbow tracks and and halos and everything like that. And I was like, man, this guy's power is ridiculous.
Yep.
So he did, like, I can understand why they would want to showcase that. And I mean, to them, that's what is considered strong, you know, like in a performance, someone that can do that. One thing that was almost catastrophic was that, you know, one of the guys almost tripped on the shirt on stage.
I did catch that.
Which was, you know, that's good on them for not really tripping that bad, but he definitely slipped a little bit on it, you know, and everything. So that was just, I guess I took off a couple points for things like that. So
yeah, and you know, just to reiterate what Eser said with that one dude in the power moves, they've been doing it every set. They showcase one dude doing power moves for maybe like 4 8 counts. It's like super long. That it's so much that it takes away from the rest, because like you look in the background, no one's really doing much or anything. But yeah, even then it kind of takes away. He wasn't even really centered for a lot of it. He kind of like drifted off to the side, and that kind of took it away from me. Again, just not one of the weak, or not one of the strongest they've done. Probably the weakest they've done, I think, in their whole tenure at World of Dance here. One thing I did really like was, and it was probably one of the only parts that I did like with them in this set, was when everyone was kind of doing their own freestyle section. It was towards the end, pretty much right before they did the whole theatrical thing of taking off their mask. But like they did like a whole, they're all spread out, and they had like 4 counts of, or an 8 count of like freestyle to do on their own. So that was nice, and they all stopped at the same time. I was like, could have been more of that or something. But anyway, that's it. I give him an 86.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I gave him a 90.
I gave him a 94.
Jeez.
Gave them an 89.
Cool. They actually got 93.3. So a decent score starting it off. But then comes moving on to Unity LA here.
Yes.
And being the person with the most contemporary experience, I guess. Justin, you can start this one.
Oh man. That's a lot of pressure. No, it's not that much pressure. Tough crowd. So one thing that I really loved about them is that it's Ashley and Zach from last season. That was a nice little surprise for me, because I was a huge fan of them last season. And I've heard of Unity LA before too. I think I've caught a couple of their performances, and they always put on such great packaged contemporary type pieces and everything, with a little bit of fusion, you know, and everything. The use of their prop was, I think, masterful. But one thing that I actually had an issue with was that I've seen this performance before. Like, I've seen this exact performance done with another team. You know what I mean? So like, if anyone's been in the dancing for a while, if you know Formality, they did this performance with the door, with all the other people in white and everything like that. And that's something that I took points off for creativity, because I was like, I've seen this before. The contemporary moves, like their technique, perfect. Like, it's great. Like they packaged it well. But because I've seen it before, I always hold it to the standard of the person that did it first. Does that make sense? So like, you know, like I give props to Ashley and Zach, because they are just a fantastic duo, and they really package their performances really, really great. Their musicality is usually fantastic. But I guess I don't know, it kind of left a weird taste in my mouth. I did like them though. Well, I did like the performance for what it was though.
Okay. I'll jump into this just so I don't know, it could be more entertaining. I did like I immediately made a connection to Formality. But then at the same time, I was like, well, I always, exactly what you said, I take that and put it in the back of my head and try and compare it to you, right? I thought Unity LA did it better. And because of that, I completely disregarded the fact that it's been done before.
Fair.
Like, if you build upon something, I think it's fine. I mean, that's the whole point, I think, of taking, what's it called? When you influence, take an influence from someone, you know, you don't steal it right out. You kind of build and kind of put your own twist on it to make it something else. And I thought they did that pretty damn well. I thought they used the door better.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely have to give you that.
Like, hands down. and then I also thought about how old we were. And just,
that was 13 years ago.
exactly. So it's like no one probably knows who they are.
Oh boy.
And there's barely a video of that.
I know.
Also,
I know.
because
I
I
can
don't
see it in
know.
my head,
I don't know if they had video. They had DVD.
They did. No,
Like-
this video is on YouTube.
No.
I've
Okay.
seen it.
I
I've seen
remember
it.
watching.
Oh
Was
gosh.
it blurry?
It was
It's
really
a
blurry.
this is not the 720 like.
So
It's 240.
so
maybe.
you know, 360.
This is that blurry stuff that we used to
So
watch.
you know, I just had to set it aside just for a little bit. Don't get me
fine.
wrong, two different things, right?
Mhm.
But I thought they were two different things who had two different takes on the same thing.
Mhm.
So I thought it was fine actually. I love, well, I guess it's hard to say because it's pretty much everything that Formality did, but like different points of view by rotating the door.
Yeah, that was
Very
master.
masterful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow, almost jinxed it.
Almost.
Oh boy.
Great use of the door. I said it, especially when they held it flat and she kind of just came out of nowhere, like holding
That
on to
was
it.
cool.
And
Yeah, that was a great effect.
when,
Yeah.
when they did that, I went, ooh.
There she is.
There she
I was like, oh, there you are.
The whole structure of the thing. I keep talking about structure, but it's really big for me. And the whole build-up was fantastic for it. Lots of pictures and visuals at any moment, rotating like 360 pretty much with different points of view.
Mhm.
The transitions, the formations on point. The narrative obviously was there, and overall athletics just was pretty good. I mean, it was perfect for me. Perfect.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Perfect.
Well,
Jess, anything to add?
No, you said it all.
Really?
I can tell they were definitely your favorite. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. I guess my main note was just how they used the door. They turned it sideways and like all around, and I that was pretty risky, and they landed it. So that was really impressive. But everything you've said already, they were beautiful.
Nice.
Mhm.
Eser,
door.
hold the door.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not- oh.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Anyways,
Hold the
you
door.
guys said everything. Covered
Good.
a lot of ground there. But my one thing that I did want to mention was just how smartly placed their dancers were when the interaction between Ashley and Zach were with the door. So the rest of their dancers were just like from here to here, and like it was just very nicely aesthetically pleasing just seeing how they were placed around the stage. And pretty much but at times I guess it felt like the dancers in the white outfits felt a little more distracting than it needed to be. It was just slightly, not too much, but it was just like just maybe a hair off. Like
They're angels.
yeah, I know. I'm just saying like
White suits.
it was nice to see that like the interaction between the duo and then the angels on the sides at one point, but it was like for some reason if anything else like what they did at that moment, I think it would have been too much. But it was just a slight hair off for me.
Yeah. I think like just so that I can clarify this, I did not like them. Like if I'm being honest,
we got it.
Yeah,
if I'm
we
being
know.
honest, like they still were my favorite in this particular division.
Okay.
So,
What'd you give them?
We'll get there.
I gave him the big hundo.
Oh!
Ding, ding, ding.
This guy. No wonder you wanted to go after me.
Yeah. I told you to be more entertaining.
Yeah, totally.
Jess,
dude.
what'd you give him?
Well
I gave
then.
them a 95.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave
Just-
him 95 as well.
Eser?
Gave them a 92.
Eesh.
What is? Were you okay? Did you have a bad day?
No,
so
it wasn't a bad day. This is just how I felt.
So they actually got a 98.7. J-Lo giving them the lower score here, with Neo and Derek giving them hundos.
I know.
I
saw
I'm
that.
surprised.
Yeah.
I seen it.
I thought they were gonna win. I was like, all right, they got 98.7. That's
Yeah.
it. And then come the Kings.
Oh
here.
gosh, these guys.
Dang.
These guys.
I really want to know what they've done in the past. I'm curious.
Well, tell us what you thought about them this time, though.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Good transition.
No pressure. I love the theme. I love their theme, and I loved their. I love that what they did in the beginning, where they're kind of a call out to their competition. and like their costumes were great, their makeup was on point. I just thought they did too many tricks, and I told this to Justin earlier, and okay, I'm interested. I can't wait to hear. Okay, but I told Justin, I was like, this is gonna be really bad. But I said, is this World of Tricks or World of Dance? Oh. And that's just how I felt about them. I can go now. Yeah, and I didn't think they were as clean during the actual choreography section. I think another thing, I've just been a little disappointed.
Yeah, no, this season has been filled with disappointments.
Yeah.
Justin, go ahead.
I can't believe that dude performed while injured. I feel like they overplayed it, which is like, because if you're gonna have that type of injury, the way that they played it out to be before doing a performance like that, I think that was fabricated. So that put a bad taste in my mouth from the get-go. The tricks were incredible. Some of the stuff that they were doing, like, I mean, a 4-person stack and you throw someone over that and he does like a, he lands that,
it, right?
and then the kick flip. That's the only thing I can think of.
No, I know what you're talking about.
That was just like, wow. Okay. And then, I agree with Jess. Like, I wanted more dancing. There was more roaring than dancing and more tricks than anything. So, like, I understand that's their motif. It's based on I guess it was the
mythological creature.
Mythological creature, like someone in like a to be revered and everything like that. Which I totally I get. It kind of dominated the entire thing for me. So it would be trick. Choreography, kind of roar, and then that would be kind of their the pattern they followed the entire performance. So I still was just like, I think the tricks were just like great though.
Sure. Eser, what'd you think?
Well, then we're back to them again. So
Yep. Sure.
Ready.
It was great from the beginning. The first time I saw them, sure, they blew me out of the water.
Okay.
Then it was just like the same thing, but with different tricks, which is very impressive every time. But it still was like, where's your dancing? But this time around, it was, there's too much roaring.
Right.
Because it was definitely very staggered. Like they did like mini sets within their entire set because the roaring was like a good stop there. I mean, yeah, it was like good theatrics. Like definitely when one point they roared, the one guy on this end roared the entire group, and then they had their hand behind their backs, like shaking their shirts.
That was cool.
I was like, that was a cool effect, cool.
Yeah.
But you're in this finale, the end of the competition. It's like, I need more than the tricks, guys. And it was really risky just having one of your dancers who is already injured from rehearsal still pushing it through. Okay, I was injured too on a performance one time, but I didn't do any flipping for my own sake because, one, I know I wouldn't be able to pull it off. Two, I knew and balanced out like my decision of like, okay, can I still pull it off? But this guy, I felt like he just exacerbated his injury just doing what he did. So he definitely needs to chill out now. But yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. But yeah, no doubt. Like, I just want to know what their thinking process is coming up with these tricks. That was just it.
True.
They had a ladder.
No. So the thing about them is that, and like I kept saying it, I want to like them. But again, like you mentioned it, there was just way too many tricks. Right? And we said it last week too.
Yeah.
Like the trick to dance ratio.
Yeah, trick to dance.
It's not there. Surprisingly, this set had more dance than their previous ones.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually.
So
No dance before.
transition dance.
What about
pretty much.
did they have a lot of
Interesting.
roaring in the other ones?
No roaring.
No roaring.
This one had a lot more roaring. I actually liked the roaring. I thought the gimmick was actually really good here. And I say gimmick, I mean theme. Like the thing about their theme. I thought it worked for them here. I said more dancing in the set. Thank you. but I will say that I thought the stage production took away from their dance
Uh-huh.
because the outfits they wore blended in with everything else.
Oh my goodness.
They were wearing
Yeah,
earth
yeah.
tone
In the
jungle.
background, yeah. It was like,
That's
no.
what tigers do, though.
I know, and it didn't work for them.
They're camouflage.
So I think that's what helped them seem not as clean because you couldn't really tell things apart. It just kind of looked like one big blur at that point.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I appreciated that they danced more, but I didn't appreciate that I couldn't see the dance as much. But again, still a lot of tricks. What I thought they did better here than last week was that they actually hid the tricks.
Oh,
You
before
know?
actually showing them.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Before, again, like with less dance, it was all transition into the next trick. So like set up, trick, set up, trick, set up, trick. This one actually had a little bit more dancing. So I was like, okay, still not my favorite. Like you said, this is World of Dance, not tricks, right? But it's hard to knock them because their
yeah,
tricks
it really
are freaking
is.
awesome,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Their tricks are on point. And last week I related them to like this. They're more they relate more to like a cheer team in that aspect.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Set up,
That's a better
trick.
Yeah.
Set
Yeah.
up and trick, whatever. Let's Dance here, they're closer to athletes than they are to artists
right.
at that point. Not to say that they're not artists. I'm just saying like they're straying more towards the athleticism side of things.
Yeah.
Back to that
And
spectrum.
they're relying on their athleticism
Yeah.
to pay off as art.
Right.
pretty
Sure.
much. Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
see what you're saying.
I still give them a pretty high score just because they have improved in my eyes. So I give them a 96 here.
Wow.
And the tricks, the Lucky Charms though.
Yeah. I gave him a 92.
94.
Gave them a 90.
Okay, so 90s all around. Somehow they got a 99.7.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yo,
Almost
man.
perfect.
Like when you compare them to Unity LA,
I
come on.
Yeah,
can't-
you know?
Come on.
And then VPeepz being able to dance cleaner.
I know,
and
right?
Better than these guys when it
Uh-huh.
comes to choreo, at least.
Yeah.
Well, it
so
just
like-
goes to show you that this type of competition, like
Yeah, yeah.
they're going more so, they're always going to go more so towards how how exciting the
Yeah,
performance
it's the
is.
crowd
And
appeal.
They're not, the crowd
Right.
appeal.
Right.
But that's only a fifth of the score.
Yeah,
I know.
it was.
Yeah, right? It's weird. Anyway, so they won obviously their division, beating the Unity LA by 1 point, thanks to JLo.
1 whole point.
But there is a wild card, and I have a feeling it's going to be Unity LA.
I
That's what Justin
really hope it's
Yeah.
Unity LA.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right? They got
Yeah.
200s,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then not to be
Yep.
the wild card here. So I hope they make it through. Did you guys enjoy this
I
episode or this session?
I enjoyed the episode of the session,
but
not World of Dance. No, I'm just kidding. There were, like I said, Ellie and Ava made the entire episode amazing for me because I was like, this is the type of people that I love seeing in these competitions because they're just great.
Yeah.
They're my favorites to win now.
Right on.
Yeah.
We
This
got-
episode.
I can hear the disappointment in your voices that's built up through the last however
You
10
remember last
episodes.
season?
Yeah,
you,
but-
you do.
There were fewer episodes this
Oh
time
my
around.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but
that,
longer.
These are
episodes.
longer, fewer episodes.
so wait, so each one's like 2 hours.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's a lot of dance I don't want to see.
yeah, no. Wait, we went what 18 weeks?
It was a
Still
long time.
Jinx. That's right.
On air.
Anyway,
He got me.
let's wrap it up. Jess and Justin, I want to thank you guys for coming.
Thanks
It's
for
always a
having us.
pleasure to have you guys on. Obviously, please do come back. Jess, where can people find you?
on
That's
Instagram
wrong.
at JessJackPot.
Just Instagram.
Yep.
Cool. Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Wonderfell88.
Oh, no Instagram.
No more Instagram.
That
Taking
means
a break.
I had to edit the lower thirds here.
It's okay.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
you know, actually, don't do that. I'll probably bring it back.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
most likely bring it back.
Thank you.
I just needed a break.
Fair enough.
All right,
cleanse.
Yeah.
Life cleanse.
Life cleanse. It's
Gotcha.
been nice.
I bet.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
bet.
like a great sanitation product. Life cleanse.
Eser, where can people find you, man?
You guys can find me on Instagram at ValCirca and on Facebook.
Boy,
He's back.
you single?
Still am.
Oh man, ladies, come on! I haven't been here in a while, so
Oh boy. And as always, I'm Russ Santos, aka Lock and Robin. You can find me at Lock and Robin on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, chat with me, send me a message. I'll probably respond, to be honest. I might. I just might. But anyway, if you like everything you heard and saw and you have your own opinions, and I know a lot of people do because you do leave the comments, please leave more comments. We will get around to commenting, hopefully, unless they don't call for a reply. Then, please do leave a comment anywhere that you can find us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DanceFamtv. Go to our website, dancefam.tv. Listen to us on podcasts, on Spotify, iTunes, Google, whatever you need to do to find podcasts. I'm sure we'll be there, for better or worse.
Yo.
And then, go to our website, dancefam.tv. I think I mentioned that. Well, here we go again. And, follow us everywhere else and hashtag the session. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.